Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Brink, for being here. As you know, this is extremely important. I'm glad to see that we're having this hearing, and I want to thank the chairman for this because this is very important. We know that we got thousands of brownfields across this country. I believe maybe 450,000 to be quite honest with you. But, you know, my colleague, the chair of the full committee, Chairman Rogers, mentioned the Georgia Sea Turtle Center on Jekyll Island. That's in my district, and I'm very proud of that. I've got quite a few success stories of brownfields in my district, and that's one of them, where it used to be a coal-fire power plant, and now it's a center for rehabilitating sea turtles and research and educating the public, and that's in the southern portion of my district. In the northern portion of my district, in the Savannah area, one of our great corporate citizens, Reed Delaney, Delaney Industries, has completed the largest by-area brownfield cleanup in Georgia history. A great project, and again, a great corporate citizen who cares about our community, and we thank him for that. This facility was used for processing titanium dioxide, but now it's a new industrial terminal with a focus on sustainability, and I can't think of any better examples than these two right here in my own home district. So I'm very proud of that. But approvals and assessments and cleanups, they take so long. I've got 4 brownfields down in Glenn County that we have just been working on for years and years and years, and just so frustrated that we can't get anything done in these areas. And some of them are in great locations that would benefit the community enormously if we could get something done. And a lot of times they're opposed by various groups. But I want to ask you, because I'm building up to the point that, you know, do you think it's a wise use of federal tax dollars to award projects to communities where the local elected officials are not on board with the project?
Thank you, Mr. Carter. We sure appreciate the question. So we do work hard to work carefully with local governments. And with your agreement, I'd like to explain to you what we're doing currently, if that's all right with you.
Sure. Quickly, please.
So we saw that in the discussion draft, and we'd like to understand better any experiences where local governments have been displeased. The reason for that is we already have an intergovernmental review process to provide local governments an opportunity to submit their comments to EPA when applications for brownfields grants are selected for possible funding. That intergovernmental review process is codified in regulations, 40 CFR 29, and it's the same one used by programs throughout EPA. So,
does it work?
Well, I'll finish if I may, sir.
Okay.
So the EPA Brownfields program uses the same intergovernmental review process that other programs in the agency use. I can get you a list of all the programs that use it. But the reason I wanted to let you know that is it gives states an option. States could choose to have a single point of contact, or a state could choose not. And where a state has chosen to have a single point of contact, then we'll work through that point of contact. Otherwise, we'll go out and make sure we direct that local governments get told. So if there are examples of local governments displeased with our work, we'd like to work with you on it.
Okay, well, the point I'm trying to make is that communication is the key, and that we've got to work with the local governments. If they don't buy in, it does no good whatsoever. And I get so frustrated with, and with all due respect, with the agencies pointing to a code somewhere saying we have to do it this way. You know, a lot of this is subjective, and we just got to work with the local governments. The more they want this to work, the more we're going to be able to make it work. So that's what's so vitally important. Whenever the EPA, whenever local officials want a project to move forward, what kind of steps does EPA take to verify that that's going to happen?
Right. So what we do is, of course, we will take enormously seriously whatever comments we get from local governments. There is an interesting concept in the discussion draft that we'd want to make sure you thought hard about. The way it's written, if a state applied for a brownfields grant, the state, we would have to go and ask the local government if they agreed with what the state had proposed. and that may raise issues under state law. So this seems like an area where technical assistance and working together might be helpful.
Okay. Just want to, again, stress how important it is to have buy-in from the local level. Two great examples in my district right there where it has worked. It can work, and we owe it to the people to make it work. So thank you very much for being here, and I yield back.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, yield.